I am going to show you how to never lose a trade.
But that's impossible.
That must be a scam. Win every trade? What are you lying for? Well, the truth is, it really ain't that hard. I'm Blockhead from Block Party Trading, and I'm going to run you through how. DCA, or dollar cost averaging, is a wonderful word in trading and often overlooked due to impatience or simple lack of awareness. Now, if you are already a DCA master, then skip ahead to the meaty part about getting out of hang-in trades. If not, then open your ears, close your eyes, and ready yourself for my dulcet tones and knowledge bombs. In a nutshell, DCAing is basically a few things. Dollar cost averaging refers to the practice of systematically or strategically investing equal amounts or increasing amounts spaced out over regular or targeted intervals. The goal of dollar cost averaging is to reduce the overall impact of volatility on price of the target asset, as the price will likely vary each time one of the periodic investments is made. The investment is not as highly subject to volatility. Dollar cost averaging aims to avoid making the mistake of making one lump sum investment that is poorly timed with regard to asset pricing, which I am sure we are all guilty at one time or another. In a world where economy is rising and crypto is spearheading that, then the price will seemingly always rise, even if only a little at some point, and the goal is for your take profit to be there when it does. And following the DCA method and lowering your average buy price, this becomes not only achievable, but highly profitable. The most common place for DCAing is the world of automated trading, or bots. And if you're not familiar with bots, then check out the Block Party bot fleet, which should be your best friend in the world of crypto trading. They'll do all the heavy lifting and keep a solid passive income stream flowing into your wallet. They never get tired, they never complain, they never YOLO into SHIB or shitcoins, and they never ever make mistakes. So, if the bots don't make mistakes, how do we end up in bad positions and minus 50%, I don't know, in Dodo? Well, your bot, for all of their strengths, is a bot at the end of the day. He's not reading the news, he doesn't know that Evergrande have defaulted, Elon has tweeted something erratic, or that China has banned crypto. So they can enter trades at perilous times. Often, this isn't an issue, as they will just DCA minor dips and corrections effectively, just increasing the deal's profit. But in a significant one like we saw on 19th of May for instance, this may not be enough. Once all of your safety orders have fired, then continued downside is especially difficult to swallow. That's what she said. You are now heavily invested in a depreciating asset. The answer to this problem is simple but requires skill to execute effectively. The answer is to invest again. This skill comes in investing the correct amount at the correct time, whilst also having the correct reserve in place. So, let's teach you how to become the hangman of hanging trades. Luckily for you guys, we have created a very simple, consistent solution in 5 easy steps to bring these deals back to life. So let's find out how. Number 1, technique. What are you trading? How are you trading? Is it accumulation? Is it a DCA bot deal? Is it a trade with an open stop loss that you YOLO'd into? Let's identify which one it is. Number 2, capital. How much money do you have in reserve? Should you ever put 100% capital into one strategy? Kind of defeats the objective of diversification, no? Number 3, structure. This is your plan. It's never a good idea to simply react without structure in place. So an indicator, a target price, a set percentage, an additional safety order to your existing bot. All these things can help identify a place to buy. The only exception to this rule is big news, but even then in crypto we can see that being pretty unreliable at times. Number 4, commitment. How much are you going to buy? How much are you going to reinvest? This is so important to balance with your capital and your structure. And number 5, Blockhead's favorite, patience. Without patience brings panic. Panic brings bad decisions, so bide your time and trust your system. So let's start to build you a real life example of what I do and how I turn looking at those big candles crashing through the last safety order from panic into profit. So let's have a look at my setup. I'm going to be using the classic, the iconic bot party throughout all of this. So let's have a look firstly at technique. I'm using bot party DCA bot and using the recommended alpha preset to safety order 3, which sits at a 29.06% deviation. This will all be done on 3 commas, which is where I'll be adding my funds to. Now, with the latest updates to bot party DCA bot, it should be a rarity that we see it sailing past 30%, but we all know in crypto this can happen. Next up, my capital. We will be ensuring that I have at least 25% of our bot allocated capital to one side for this. So if we have $1,000 invested into our bot program, then I'm only going to be using $750 up to SO3 or 29.06%, leaving us with $250 to get ourselves out of this pickle. Now, you can still use this capital in various other tradings, but I would advise for short-term trades only, or trades with tighter stop losses, that it organically becomes available when the market crashes, for instance, and when you need it for these bots. Although since I don't put 100% of all my capital into a singular strategy, diversification, then there is always further for rainy day funds when needed, which is something you should also consider. I am going to be using the Alpha Suite, provided to you by Block Party when you join the premium channel free of charge. And from that, I will be using the long signal from the Alpha Prime to help identify dips, but also notify me of where the best places to add my safety orders are. Of course, peppered in with a few other little indicators and signals provided by the Alpha Suite. Next up, commitment. I will be sticking to the 1.75x volume multiplier, which comes with the Alpha preset. You can, if you want, look at 1.5, which is cheaper for sure, but it's not as aggressive in catching up with that average buy price. And on the other side, you can look at 2x, which is extremely aggressive, but it can get real expensive real quick if you're needing to add a further safety order beyond. Now, lastly, patience. Now I have added my new safety order, my manual buy, if you will, and I just simply wait for it to close. But in this period, I can now decide whether I want to increase the profit. Is the market looking particularly bullish? So bullish, in fact, that I've got so much money in this trade and it's looking so good. Why would I not increase the take profit and really reap the rewards from waiting all this time? Or, on the flip side, should the market dump further, I simply wait for another signal to notify me. So, let's take a chart and show you how effective this can be, how to apply an alert, and also how to add capital. And here we are, guys, looking at a chart and a real life example of how to get out of a hanging trade. So as we can see here on JST USDT on the 4 hour, which is what all of the bot party signals are conducted on, we have gone in and bought a buy right up here on 3296. And unfortunately, we thought it was going to dip and we thought it was going to bounce up here. The green line does signify our take profit of 4.8% and the blue line signifies our average buy price. Unfortunately, like I said, we see a significant dump. The 5% gets triggered, the 13% gets triggered down here as well, and we almost close. As you can see, the strength of these are brilliant in what they do, but unfortunately it clips it just twice before we can take profit. And then we see a tremendous collapse. As the price goes down, we then hit the 29.06% safety order. Now, this is the point at which our ears should prick up. On your deals page on the bot manager on 3 commas, you'll see that you'll have no more safety orders and we are currently in technical trading freefall. Not ideal, but no reason to panic. And it is at this point where we start to kick our structure into action. Now, as mentioned earlier, our structure is going to be based on the Alpha Prime on the long dip signal. So we are going to flick on the Alpha Prime. And here we go, we have the Alpha Prime flicked on. Now, we are only paying attention to the Alpha Prime henceforth. And what we're going to do because we can't monitor these charts day and night, we're going to simply add an alert. And this will signify us when there's an opportune time to add these funds. We will just hit alerts at the top of the page, or we can hit Alt A and an alert menu will appear. Now simply scroll down to your Alpha Prime and then find long dip signal only. Hit once per bar close, and in here we're going to put something quite easy to recognize. So safety order $57, which is how much I'm going to add funds. Now we don't want to miss this, so let's click notify on app, show pop-up, send email, play sound, send carrier pigeon. I'm only joking, but you get the gist of it. So now once we have created that, we will get notified when an alert comes on, a long dip buy, and most importantly when we should add funds. So now we have been alerted of this long signal right down here. So our next steps are we're going to add the amount, the $57 on our 3 commas trade, and I'm going to show you what would happen if we were to simulate what would happen if we added that money to it. Bearing in mind we're seeing a trade that would have originally closed after 50 days, which is not the worst thing, but we want to shave that down quite dramatically. So in doing so, we will show you just how much it goes down. So we look at around about 45.5% when we would be able to add that trade. So let's add that in for the sake of testing and showing you guys what would happen. So 45.5%, we'll hit that and hit OK. And hey, voila! As you can see, it has clipped this here. So our average buy price has come right down here. Our average take profit has come right down as well. We have closed all of our trades, and as well, after only 33 days, and that gives us almost an entire month of not having to wait for a hanging deal to open, or close should I say. So there you go, you can see the strength of these manual add funds or safety orders in action and just how simple it is to do. Let's take a quick look on how to add these funds in. I am all set. I know where I'm going to buy, I know what I'm going to buy, and I know how much I'm going to buy, but where do I add this capital? Well, simply head to your 3 commas bot deals page and find the deal in question. Now, it will be lower than 30% by this nature. Select add fund, and then in the volume you can place the amount you want. Now, in my case, this will be 1.75x the previous safety order, and it will help bring the price down and either use a market buy or a limit order. It doesn't really matter. Personally, I use market orders. But I guess it's kind of quite technical now, so how do I know how much to add? Well, I advise using a leverage calculator, and you can find one at www.3stats.com/leverage-bot-calculator. The link will be in the description below anyway, but it'll show you this handy little table which gives you a little bit of a breakdown of how much you should be putting into your next trade. Great stuff, right? And then voila! You are now a hanging deal ninja. So get out there, start getting your DCA on. Like me, never lose a trade. And before I sign off, there is another and more advanced technique that you can combat these hanging trades. Not only combat them, but you can make money when they're going down as well. Crazy, crazy stuff. If you look at your hanging trades on 3 commas, you'll see a button labeled reverse bots. This allows you to flip a falling trade into shorts and start to profit. It is slightly more intricate, but potentially extremely profitable method, and is better suited for experienced automated traders. If you'd like to learn more, then we can demonstrate this process and train you to use it in our one-on-ones with pro trader Reggie George. Full details on our website or messages on Telegram at BPTadmin for the full details. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and always party fam, patience pays.